Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. C, my weekly video. Something's in the air this week. I thought I would take a few minutes and see if we can't talk about it. What I'm hearing in many of my classes is there's this expectation for the leader to only be the only one in the relationship doing their part. So if a leader sends a communication, if a leader shows up and issues an order, uh, that we simply expect only them to do their part. Remember, leader, follower, it's a partnership. We need to make sure that we're both doing our part. I'm seeing a lot of resentment building, particularly on the part of the follower. Well, my manager didn't do this, my leader didn't do this, my boss didn't do this. And my question to them is, what did you do? They're like, well, that's not my part. Yes, it is. To be a good leader, we have to be a good follower first. And a leader and a partner have a marriage, have an expectation, have a partnership. And if we don't do our part as a follower, they can't finish their part or do their part as a leader. And so my question to you is to always ask the question, have I done my part? Or am I only complaining? Am I only whining? Am I only having that expectation? Or am I settling? A few students this week came up with but I just have to accept it. No, you don't. Leadership can be leading from where you are. Remember, leadership is a verb, not a noun. Leadership is not where you sit in the organization, it's what you do. Management, different than leadership. Leadership and management, both different than being a boss. And I want to make sure that you're looking at sender receiver. That's the communication. If a sender sends something, it doesn't mean a receiver's received it without having that call to action, that confirmation. If you send a meeting request, for example, how do you know someone got it? Oftentimes by having that call to action, an RSVP. And most people, when you're having a meeting or even a party, they just want to know who's going to be there. It's polite to be able to RSVP so they know how to plan for food, refreshments, drinks, attendance, maybe handouts at the meeting. But when we just decide to show up or not, we're not doing our part. People are looking for professionalism, for societal niceties, for manners. And I often hear that a lot of these folks, well, I'm just not going to say anything. Well, how do you expect them to know? One of my students said a wonderful quote of, a closed mouth does not get fed. A leader, a manager, a boss, they're not mind readers. So let's do our part to help them. If they aren't meeting our expectations, let's offer them an opportunity to let them know. Oftentimes, the leader may very much want to meet your expectation, but may realize that they think they have. And if they haven't, you've had to be the opportunity to be able to bring that to our attention so we can renegotiate. And why don't we? We don't like conflict. We don't like to be adversarial, but we don't have to be. It's not the what, it's the how. When humans come together, there's going to be conflict. Usually there's a lack of clarity in the message, lack of clarity in the call to action, or we as a follower leave with a lack of clarity and we don't ask questions. That's our fault, not theirs. So I want to just put a bug in your ear this week to be able to ask yourself the question, am I doing my part? And if not, what else I can do to help, to serve, to be part of the equation, part of the partnership. Remember, a leader cannot lead if they do not have followers. A message is not received if it's a one-way communication and there's no understanding and no clarity. We have to do our part. Remember, it's not the what, it's the how. We don't have to be disagreeable to disagree. We can simply present our options, make our inquiries, perhaps with a little bit of humor, perhaps with a little bit grace and style and elegance and kindness and love and all those other wonderful things we've talked about in class. But just think about the idea of, have you done your part? Because if resentments builds because you're mad at your boss, do they know you're even mad at them? Give them an opportunity, offer them grace, and realize that your manager, your boss, your leader, whomever is in a position of authority or in partnership with you, could be a spouse, could be a friend, could be a child, could be a coworker, doesn't have to be hierarchical, it could be lateral. But we need to make sure that we can do our part and let them know and to help them meet our expectations. But if we haven't, don't put all the blame on them. Some of it might be shared here. Fair enough? All right, I'm Dr. Cheryl. I will see you around the quad this week. Have a fabulous week and we'll be in touch. Have a good one. Bye-bye.